And switching gears as well, there's a big weekend in the FA Cup quarterfinal stages here. We have Middlesbrough against Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, Palace against Everton, and Southampton against Manchester City. I'll be at that last game, for better or for worse, as someone from Southampton. Not expecting an awful lot, but you never know. They have drawn against Man City twice in the Premier League this season, so not many teams do that. So they seem to match up quite well. Should be a good atmosphere at St Mary's. Quarterfinals of the FA Cup do not come around too often. Nick, what do you got your eye on in the FA Cup? Borough against Chelsea, Forest against Liverpool. Potential banana skins there. We've already seen Borough knock out Tottenham. Forest obviously knocked out Arsenal and Leicester. So Chelsea and Liverpool got to be a bit wary, right, of going to those championship teams and potentially slipping up in the FA Cup.
I'm going to take Borough and Chelsea and move it to the side, because if I comment on it, I'm going to say something quite bitter and probably get myself in trouble. I'm all eyes on Nottingham Forest, Liverpool. Liverpool playing Arsenal this week, the same reason that I might want to give Aston Villa a bit of a nod. I know this is the FA Cup quarterfinals, but what are you focused on? And can Liverpool's depth continue to just deliver against a Forest team that I think is currently dipped out of the playoff conversation and might have channeled most of its energy into scaring a big team at home, in your building? And I don't know. I think I would go as far as to say I'd like to see them win.
Forest, okay, Forest.
Yeah.
I think we'd all like a few upsets. We love a cup set. Andy, what have you got your eye on heading into this quarterfinal stage? Anything stick out for you in those games? Again, Palace Everton is a kind of a strange one, but for Palace it's great because they're steady in mid-table and they can focus on the FA Cup, right? Where Everton, I feel like there's always one relegation team who try really hard not to do well in the cup, but then they always seem to get into the final or the semi-final, and it really impacts their form in the relegation battle.
Yeah, that's called the Wigan, right? This is not a bit, Joe. I've not loved what I've seen from Man City for about a month now. They aside from the Champions League, where the competition was what it was, they've just not been. They've been dominant, or they've been in control without being dominant. And I think that's the thing that separates them when they're at their best. And so if there's a time to play them, given the fixture congestion that they've got right now, the form that they're in, they are so clearly missing a center forward in this team. And I know we've talked about it all season, but the game on the weekend on Monday against Crystal Palace was painful to watch them without a center forward to put away the amazing chances they were creating. There's something there to be had. I know Saints were not good on the weekend, but there is the opportunity for a team with a really hard-nosed defensive game plan, stays disciplined, get it late into the game 0-0. You never know what can happen.
That's true. I was speaking to some Man City fans recently, and they said there is a way to play against us if you are committed to just putting 10 men behind the ball and just saying, try and break us down. As good as Man City are, if they have an off day in front of goal like they have been doing quite recently and did against Palace, hitting the post or just not quite being at it, you can catch them on the counter or something like that. But again, I expect Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Crystal Palace to make it through. Those are my picks to make it into the semi-final. And it's just interesting because it's going to come down to Liverpool, Man City, I think, again, battling for yet another trophy. But Nick,
Joe and Andy.
You're going to try and build up my hopes as a Southampton
No,
fan.
not at all.
I've never seen his team win a trophy, apart from the Johnston's Paint Trophy when they were in League One. That's fine.
I'm going full Nick Mendola, pulling something out of left field here. Okay. Could you imagine if City landed Messi? I mean, think about what they ended up missing. But think about what they ended up missing this year. And we talked about them almost getting Ronaldo. The two center forwards they were potentially going to get were the best finishers maybe of all time, besides regular Ronaldo. So I couldn't help but think that. Could you imagine this team with that dude doing his thing?
Yeah, crazy. I mean, there's a huge gap there, isn't there? So Erling Haaland, someone else next season, it looks like they're going to upgrade there. Maybe Ronaldo will switch over to Man City. I very much doubt that would happen. But it's going to be interesting. FA Cup news on Pro Soccer Talk and NBCSports.com. We'll have you covered with all the previews, how to watch those games, and have recaps and analysis. Middlesbrough against Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Everton, Southampton, Manchester City, and Nottingham Forest against Liverpool. Some really intriguing games there, and I love this competition. Some potential for some upsets. Let's see what happens in the FA Cup quarterfinals this weekend. And gents, that's it for us. We're done for this week. So much going on. Obviously, big games coming up in World Cup qualifiers, Premier League, Champions League. We'll be recapping all of that next week. But thanks so much for joining me. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And we'll speak to you all very soon indeed. Cheers, guys.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series, and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches, and much more.